What's going on YouTube? So we're going to about Jerry Garcia, the leader of the Grateful Dead, who once said that rap music is not music. He said it's talking in meters and rhythms, but that's how he felt. Yeah, old hippie would he would have to say. This was how a lot of cats felt in the late 80s, what have you, that they didn't really believe rap music was real, and they just thought that it was just this and that. It is a difference between playing an instrument and singing in chords and key and everything. And if you were coming along today, you would definitely say that, because rap music that was out back then compared to today, the mess that's out today is just so, where they have auto tune and lip sync rappers and ghosts and all kinds of stuff. It's not the same hit as it once was. It's still operating off the same old sampling. It's operating off the same biting. It's operating off the same prosthetic of riding off R&B and something catchy. But in terms of where they was trying to make a statement, it was more raw for them. Jerry Garcia is saying that, though. Some people might look at the Grateful Dead and I think that's music. I mean, they look at him as some old corny jive turkey who, when he was around, they thought their music was corny. I mean, some did, because I never really, I remember, they had some songs and stuff. I never got the hype behind them, you know. And I'll say this, you don't have to like a genre style, but to say it's not music and not to say something is kind of degrading, if you ask me. Especially for somebody that ain't that distinctive, because I didn't think Jerry Garcia musically was that distinctive, you know. I always thought that, like, that type of the styling that he did was pretty simple pop, folk, rock, some catchy stuff. Now, I did like the Grateful Dead interpretation with Jazz is Dead. I heard that in the late 90s. I like that. That gave us some snap, crackle, and pop. But a lot of stuff that he was putting down, I ain't really feeling it. I didn't really kind of clap to it. So that was kind of like my feeling about it. But, that's just kind of how I looked at it. But anyway, yeah, he out here right now trying to, like, who ride and, say stuff. But, this was an old clip. But there's a lot of that sentiment that's still out there, though. That a lot of people didn't think that it was really music. They didn't really feel that it was sincere, the integrity, that it did endure. Funny how he got us look at it if he was around 40 years later, that it's been his biggest selling form of music along with country. And you can make the case without hip hop, the music industry would pretty much be on life support because it was that integral. Now, do I think that it matters as much as R&B? Do I think it's the same thing? No. And do I find it offensive? Yeah. I find it offensive because a lot of R&B acts that they sample and took from don't get the half the do they should. And so that's why I have an exception. Because I'm one of them people that no singing, no talent, writing jack turkeys who are pretending to be CEOs, boutique labels, that gotten all this love that Parliament Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Isley Brothers, Barcades, War, Sly and the Family Stone, James Brown, all that, Bootsy Collins, all the originated people that did it should have gotten that love. So I do have a problem with the originators not getting their due, because it doesn't happen with the white artists, the white bands. You ain't gonna never have nobody that's gonna be pushed ahead of no Beatles or no Rolling Stones, etc. So that's the sad part about how it's dispersed, and that R&B and hip hop have to be merged in the Billboard magazine as one. That lumping is very depressing. So anyway, that's my thoughts and takes with that. But anyway, but Jerry Garcia was speaking of that particular time. A lot of people said it, felt that way. They just didn't say it out loud. But I do think that's kind of unhippie of him to come out and say something like that anyway, considering how he tried to be, quote unquote, a free spirit. Yeah, right. He was a pretty narrow minded cat. But you can make other assumptions about it not being in the same of what it took away. Because that's my main gripe against rap and hip hop. It took away from the originators. Because there's a whole era that grew up musically ignorant about not knowing. A lot, not all, but a lot don't really know because it got pushed off as originals, and that is a musical sin. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.